My film school scammed me, and I ended up wasting 2 years of my life. Or did I? Okay, so I'm not really good with this type of story time stuff, so I thought I would break the ice for me specifically by taking you guys with me on a photo trip thingy. Also, I don't have a car rig, so this camera is going to be shaking. So I've never really been good with people. I've never had good people skills. I was homeschooled. Even when I did my matric or GED to kind of get into this film school, I did it online. I didn't actually go anywhere. And when it comes to my knowledge of filmmaking, I learned it all by myself. I went on YouTube. I figured it all out through the internet. And I also started freelancing in 2019. Mainly my father's family members or people that he knew. And then from there, I got more work through family and through word of mouth. So it wasn't really up to my social skill. And eventually that kind of work dries up. You need to kind of learn how to get out there and advertise yourself. And for me, I never really learned that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try my luck at LinkedIn. I had quite a good portfolio at the time. So I pitched myself there. And I was an innocent child back then. I did not know how competitive LinkedIn was and how, number one, most companies, they straight up say you need a bachelor's in whatever you're doing before they even look at your portfolio. And even if they look at your portfolio, there's a lot of people there. So you need a good portfolio and a good degree to kind of impress the recruiters. So I thought, okay, the next logical leap is to try and get a degree in what I love doing, which is filmmaking. So I was looking for, not the cheapest, but I was looking for the cheapest you're going to get for good quality. So this film school that I went to did seem like a good bet when I first saw it. Yeah, and first year wasn't anything crazy. It was just basically repetitive because I was learning things that I taught myself before on the internet. But then towards the end of the year, something kind of weird happened. One of the buildings, so my campus had two buildings, building A and building B. And for almost a month, the majority of the rooms in building A, which is quite a big building, had no electricity. There was a few rooms, I don't know how they did it. There was probably a generator. I think I remember seeing one against the wall in the courtyard. So I think there was a generator and that's how a few rooms got electricity. So basically to use lights, I had to take a long cable and run it from building B all the way to building A, which is very weird. Yeah, and that was the only real red flag. And then also the fact that there was rumors that it was because they didn't pay certain bills. And other than that, it was just like normal classes, no real red flags. One thing I did get, which was quite useful in first year, it was people skills, working with a team, directing people, being directed by a person. That was all things that I never really experienced in freelancing. And another thing that was quite useful, which is professional opinions in industry. Those opinions are not the same as client opinions. Clients judge based more of emotion, and my lecturers would judge based more of professional opinion. So people skills, working in a crew, getting professional opinions, professional feedback from my lecturers. In first year, that was really valuable on my side. Now, second year is where things kind of fell apart, just like this amazing toilet here. Yeah, so towards the end of our first term of second year, that's when an actual red flag happened. One of my friends in our student group chat, there's a normal official group chat, and then there's a student more casual group chat. So one of them sent a tweet from some reporter, I don't remember exactly, but it said that my film school was amongst a few others that have been deregistered, which was quite insane because we heard none of this from the higher ups. First, I kind of dismissed it. I was like, okay, this might be just a rumor. I'll do my own research later. And then immediately after that, we were sent an article which gave even more credence. And then they sent like an official picture or something with different logos on it, and it showed all the different film schools and schools in general that have been deregistered. And that's when everyone started to panic in our group chat. Okay, I'm tired of this place, so I'm going outside now, get some fresh air. These toilets are disgusting. You guys know what's funny? I've been here so many times and I never actually thought of going behind the building. I don't remember finding this area before, unless I forgot and I'm being a dum-dum. It's insane. I've been here like so many times and I've never found this place. Okay, where are we? Oh yeah, so things got so bad in our group chat that our general manager had to basically put an emergency notice that we're gonna have a meeting. He's gonna calm everyone's suspicions down, blah blah blah. And he said that all of this was a year old and it actually wasn't true. It's not happening now. But then the information we got was way too new, so we didn't really believe him. We learned that Educor, which is basically the main entity that owns my film school and a few other schools, and they were like 50 million rand in debt, which is insane. So we were even more panicked, but then we got some good news that the Department of Higher Education has given our film school, and I think amongst others, chance to basically phase us out as students and give us our degrees. So we were called the 2025 group, which was the ones that were supposed to graduate next year in 2025. Okay, I'm actually done with that place now. It's a bit too creepy. I've been in there for way too long. So one last goodbye. I don't know if you guys can see it properly. Never coming back here again. Rainbow. Good luck and stuff, whatever. Very epic. My first year, unfortunately, I had to take on a loan, but in my second year, I managed to get a sponsor. So I messaged them and I asked them, are you okay with taking the risk of me staying here, even though we've been through such a suspicious event where we weren't informed, that we had to find out ourselves. Luckily, my sponsor was completely understanding. They said, even if the risk falls through and they actually close, it's not on you. You've seen all the evidence that points towards the fact that you might be able to finish, so just go for it. Towards the end of first year and throughout second year, I actually got quite a lot of work, freelance work, and I kept doing that simultaneously with school. And one thing I kept in mind was, from the moment we had that scare of almost closing down or finding out that we were close to closing down, even though they kind of put our worries to rest with, the fact that we would be able to be phased out, I kept taking on work and I kept putting myself in the mindset of, don't just rely on school. In first year, what I kind of did was go through the motions and thought, you know what, I'm just going to go through school, get my paper, and then go work for a company. And I kind of didn't really I kind of relied too much on the school system. And this moment of this kind of scare kind of awakened me to the fact that the higher ups don't really care about you. The teachers might, and the students care about each other, but the higher ups, they do their own thing. And if your school collapses, you just have to deal with it, which was quite sketchy. And it's a theme that you'll see in this system that we had to deal with, that we had to keep figuring things out ourselves. So I kept going, and then school went on as normal. But then in the middle of the year, there was like 2 weeks where we had no classes. We just kept we didn't get any information, by the way. No one told us anything. We just were told that the teachers couldn't come out, we weren't getting classes. Middle of the year, or towards the end of the middle of the year, I don't exactly remember when. Now this is a cool shot, I think. Okay, so in third term, teachers again stopped coming. And by the way, we didn't know this in the first time that there was no school, there was no teachers. We didn't know it was because they weren't getting paid. The second time it happened in third term, that's when we were told, and I don't remember who told us. I think it was one student that found out that the teachers were not being paid since August. I'll put like an article somewhere. And we only had emails with our teachers, because the teachers did care about us, but they literally couldn't afford to come to campus to like teach us and stuff. So even after our exams, we didn't have classes because teachers couldn't afford to come over. So after exams, there was a period where we just sat around not knowing what to do with ourselves, because we didn't get any information. The teachers didn't even know what was happening properly. The only time we finally got to know something is when one of my friend's parents threatened to sue the school, and they got a meeting, and we found out that the buildings have either been sold or the owner of the buildings were leasing it out to someone else. I don't know exactly. Another weird thing that happened was a random car pulled in the campus when I was there for something else, and a guy came out and he started taking pictures of the different buildings. And then one of my friends told me that he knows this person owns the buildings, and he's selling it to someone else or leasing it out to someone else. So basically what happened was Educor was going through all of this stuff, and no one told us anything. The only way we were able to find stuff out was because of my friend's parents and because of all this other crazy stuff that was happening in front of us. There's no way you couldn't realize that something bad was happening. And then to top off the insane stuff that happened, there was in the official film school group chat, the general manager or one of those guys sent a PDF in the group, an official address saying, next week classes are starting. And we were like, oh, awesome. That means the teachers are being paid. We actually are going to be able to phase us out in 2025. Everything's cool. No, in the unofficial group chat, one of our teachers basically said that, guys, we have no idea what they are talking about. We haven't gotten paid. We cannot afford to come teach you. Classes are still not ongoing. But yeah, it was actually ridiculous that they just expected us to, and expected the teachers to just go with it, which is, it's insane. Yeah, so after exams in October, November, we were just sitting around in our houses not knowing what to do. We knew that the school was basically done, but no one was telling us this. You guys know it's epic. I'm walking around trying to find a good new spot. The day that I choose to film, there's like 3 wedding shoots happening. Okay, I'm really sad that I didn't find this place before starting this video. It's actually way nicer. The sun is setting now, so I have to actually get done with this video. So after that long wait of just doing nothing at home, our HOD finally put a message in our chat saying that basically all the teachers have resigned, and she wanted to know if any of us wanted to say a proper goodbye, which is quite nice. So I went there with a few of my friends, and the teachers again was so nice. They never stopped giving us advice. My script writing professor told me that if I had any scripts to run by him, I shouldn't be shy to send it to him. My producing professor was so amazing. To this day, he keeps giving us resources for getting our films funded. All the other teachers kept giving us advice as well. And that day really made me think that this system really messed up not just the students, but the teachers. It really damaged everyone's journeys and everyone's dreams. And the higher ups at Educore don't really seem to care. They didn't even see fit to let us know what was happening. They just stopped paying the teachers. They didn't message anyone. They didn't tell any of the parents, any of the sponsors, any of the students what was happening. We just had to be in the dark, and we had to deal with it ourselves. And us gathering there just made me think this is such a group of passionate and talented people. And the fact that the system can just basically set us up for failures, it really sucks. But yeah, I was really glad to have been able to say my final goodbyes. The sun is about to set, so yeah, to Muhammad in the studio for final thoughts. Yeah. My film school didn't just fail its students, it failed its teachers as well. And my teachers were some of the most passionate and caring people in the industry, I think. And they genuinely cared about our future and our careers in industry. So do I see my time in film school as a waste? I think yes and no. I think for me personally, when it comes to the knowledge side, I didn't really learn much. But when it comes to skills that you can't really learn by yourself on the internet, like people skills and also the experiences like networking and working as a team. For me, I never really did work with a team. Here in film school, I managed to work with teams as a director, as a cinematographer, as an editor, and it was a really good experience. I met some really cool people that I really hope that I can work with in the future again and make some cool projects with. Of course, the educational system is damaged everywhere, especially at this film school in particular. It was such a nightmare. You basically were not filled in with any of the issues that the school was dealing with. You just had to deal with randomly not having school for a week, or certain rooms being closed, or electricity not being there, or certain toilets just being out of order for no reason, and you paying lots and lots of money, or your sponsors paying lots and lots of money. But in that particular corner, I think I got my money's worth when it comes to that experience, but overall it was a waste of time, and time you can never get back. So would I recommend film school? I think it depends on what you want to get out of film school. If you want purely the knowledge and experience, I'm pretty sure you can get it by yourself. You can get the knowledge from YouTube, from the internet in general. It's a very vast resource of all kinds of information, especially filmmaking and anything in the arts in general. My whole education in filmmaking was basically watching videos on YouTube and making things. It was not from the film school, my time at film school, it was not at all. And when it comes to the actual experience, you can actually start by maybe offering like companies your work for free just to get that experience. But if you feel like you want to work at a company or at a studio, well, then of course you need paperwork, you need a degree. And even that, sometimes you could, if you have a very good portfolio, there are various ways of sending your portfolio to people. Back then I wasn't very experienced. But if you want me to give like a flat, not cowardly answer, I would say no. I don't think you need film school. I think the internet is enough, and I think doing projects with your friends or by yourself is enough experience, and then eventually offering yourself to other companies or showing your portfolio to people to try and get into different places. But I think overall, your first thought shouldn't be film school. I think you don't really need film school. I think you can, especially in filmmaking, you can get by without it. Yeah, so I don't really know how to end this video, so I'm just gonna say I hope you found value in listening to my experience, and yeah, thank you for watching. Oh, and if any of my colleagues from school are watching, as you can see, they're making a good background. I'm using the stuff.